What's going on, everybody? Long time no see. This is your man Larry, aka the American Brazilian, wishing everybody a bon dia or a good morning. This guy just ran a red light. Anyway, he's probably, well, he has a boat. I was just about to say he's one of those guys that are rushing to get to a job that he doesn't hate, that he hates, to complain about the people that he worked with, only to rush home and dread doing it again. But hopefully that's not him. Anyway, I digress. Hope you guys have been doing well. I have been like crazy busy, just like everyone else, probably no busier than anyone else, but I definitely have been busy, which is why I have not posted a video in quite some time. A lot of times when I'm driving, I'm listening to Pimsleur. Shout out to my brother Youssef Watif. And I'm trying to get my Portuguese even better. Now I learn with my wife, but you know, when you're in the process of learning, you know, you kind of want to do your own thing as well, and try to maximize on every opportunity that you can to strengthen your acumen in a certain thing. For me, it's learning Portuguese. In any event, I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about the whole Kevin Samuel, DJ Envy thing, and I also want to talk about, just kind of mention a little, a shout out to somebody who's has been very helpful in such a short period of time to me and what I am doing. In any event, so I was listening to a broadcast the other day while I was working, and it was Brother Dennis Spurley. Shout out to Brother Dennis Spurley. And also shout out to Brother O'Shea. And they were talking about, now they weren't talking together, but these were like two separate broadcasts. And they were talking about this thing about the guy, DJ Envy, and how he was alluding that Kevin Samuels was gay. Interestingly enough, it always makes me laugh when people do that. And when I say it makes me laugh, it's kind of ironic because for the most part, people who do that are staunch supporters of the LGBTQ plus, I think it is now, community. And if they are supporters of that community and think that it's noble and good and brave for people to come out and live their truth, which I think everybody should live their truth, whatever that might be, then why would you use it in a pejorative way towards somebody who has not confessed to be in that community? So it's kind of it's I don't know. I wonder sometimes when people who are part of the LGBTQ community, when they hear somebody who's a heterosexual who supports them, who has a platform, refer to another person who's a heterosexual as gay. I wonder if how do they take that? Because on one hand, you'll have somebody on your show who would come out and you'll say that they're brave and whatnot, but then you'll have somebody who is not that way and call them gay as though it's a bad thing. So is it a bad thing or a good thing? So, you know, and you have to be careful about that, because what I understand is, and of course I'm no lawyer by any stretch of the imagination, but listening to Brother Dennis Spurley's broadcast and a few other brothers, that is that's defamation. I mean, that is definitely defamation. And because he did it while he was working, his employer could possibly be responsible to incur a lot of those costs. We'll see. But in any event, shout out to Kevin Samuels. You know, I've been watching the brother for quite some time, and every time that I've watched him, he's always came across as 100% man. And for people who are in the LGBTQ community, they should be angry for people who put people in that community who is not a part of that community. And I just think that you know, I mean, being on camera or on air, I would imagine sometimes people can get caught up in their feelings and say things that they allow their emotions to get the best of them, and then they say things only to realize after the fact, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. Well, at that point it's too late. And then I wonder sometimes, was his insult towards Brother Kevin a result of pillow talk between he and his wife? Because remember, now he cheated on his wife, and of course I'm not judging him for that. People make mistakes. But I wonder, was that a result of kind of like a pillow talk conversation? Because he did go on like this apology tour. So I wonder if in the process of he and his wife just kind of like having conversation, if she kind of felt some type of way with Brother Kevin and his platform and his theory on, the whole, high value man and average, not average, above average, all of that stuff. I wonder, did he take the baton from her and try to run with it in a sense, in an effort to kind of bolster whatever belief or visceral that she may have? And of course, I'm not bringing her into it per se. I'm just saying it's not really normal for a man to do something like that and to have such visceral in the process of doing so. I think a lot of times when we as men, we do stuff like that, specifically when in regards to issues that another man might be talking about a woman, sometimes it comes from another place. So I don't know. But in any event, I'm sure that everything will work itself out, either in the courtroom or what have you. But if I know Brother Kevin, he's a very disciplined guy. He comes across as extremely astute and knowledgeable of what he does. And so I'm sure whatever decision that he makes, it'll be very calculated, and it'll be a decision that would definitely cause a ripple effect and make a point. So again, shout out to Brother Kevin, shout out to people that support him. I hope things continue to go well for him. And if DJ Envy realizes that maybe he said something wrong or spoke out of turn, and I'm sure, because Kevin, his thing is, he doesn't have an issue with other black men. Like that's not his thing. He talks all the time about, beefing and building, and so hopefully, if there is an issue, which, obviously there is, that the beef can be squashed. And, I'm sure that if DJ Envy humbled himself, invited Kevin to his show to speak on the issues that he talks about, so passionately, I'm sure that he'll gain some understanding, because I can't believe that he would listen to Kevin's show and still be able to walk away with that opinion. I can't believe that. So that's another reason why I say I think he's kind of taken the baton that was passed to him and in an effort to support somebody else who he may care about and try to make it his own issue. So I don't know. But anyway, I digress. Last thing I want to talk about is Brother Yusef Latif. So last night, I noticed I hadn't heard from him in a while, and it's odd because typically whenever he posts a video, he'll send me something through WhatsApp, and I'm sure he probably does that with other people as well. But for the sake of the argument, let's just say he just does it with me. I know I hadn't heard from him in a while, but then I know sometimes he's busy, he's moving, shaking, doing things, doing business. And yesterday I caught a video, and I was like, wow, I hadn't heard from him in a while. So I clicked it on and found out that he has kind of, basically been under the weather, based on what Sydney, I believe that's her name, said. And so, I just want to say that I don't know, exactly what the situation is. I don't, based on what I heard yesterday. He was not doing very well, and in the process of trying to get better. So I just ask that people who are people of faith, as I am, will just pray for the brother, and we'll hope that things will reverse itself, whatever the situation might be, and that he will be fit and back to 100%. So, in any event, I'm gonna jump off of here and go open business and do what I do, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. I'll try not to be so long the next time, or I guess be so long in posting, I'll say it like that. In any event, Tingyum Jia Ben Suado. Até breve. Até logo. É verdade. This is your man, Larry, the American Brazilian, and I'm out.